The Joe Rogan Experience.
I try to do a good job of bobbing and weaving, moving my head, slipping off the center line.
You throw a lot
guys.
of kicks, too. You keep guys on the outside. You have a weird style, man.
You're too close, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You're too close, man.
You're too close, man. Back the fuck up.
Did you start out from I know you have a wrestling base, too.
Yeah.
What did you start out with? What was your first martial art?
I didn't have any. We the karate, kung fu, like VHS tapes. I shit you not. I have a family of I think there's 20 of us now. My dad just had a newborn son. No! I shit you not. And he's 57. The guy is out of his fucking bird.
Wow.
But he just had a newborn son. I haven't even met him yet. That's one. And all the boys grew up. We had these karate tapes, VHS tapes, and we would imitate the characters, and we'll be like, we're the drunken master, or we're the white tiger, white lion, and we have to do their fight styles. And we're like little kids, so we're still flexible and malleable.
Yeah.
We like don't break us easily, so we just start beating the shit out of each other. But we'd do like spinning back kicks, jumping off the couches and shit like that. And I think that might have translated, because that was like, we did that for years, but that was the most combat we did. We didn't do any like wrestling, nothing traditional at all.
Before I ever got into martial arts, I used to do that same thing. I used to throw kicks with my friends. I didn't know what I was doing,
but it was fun.
But yeah, you like watch a Bruce Lee movie and start throwing kicks, or some Chuck Norris film or something like that.
Yeah,
you learn how to do stuff by watching it, but you could also develop some terrible habits.
Yeah,
but you don't look like you developed any bad habits. Like if I had to guess, I would say you have a traditional martial arts background.
In what?
The way you throw kicks. Like you throw kicks like a guy who started throwing kicks when you were really young.
Yeah.
But they're right. You throw them right.
Which ones would you say? Like
all your shit, your roundhouse kicks, your front kicks. You have great front kicks, man. You're really good at keeping guys off of you. You have good movement. You got a style that's a unique style. Like so, when guys have to fight you, they go, "Oh, this guy is going to be kicking at me from the outside. He moves a lot. He bobs and weaves. It's hard to hit." You got a lot going on with your style.
It's very tiring.
I was going to ask you that.
Dude.
Because we called that in your last fight, like the third round, you were kind of slowing down a little bit. I'm like, imagine all the energy this guy's using.
Yeah.
Because you're always bobbing and weaving and moving and kicking and moving and kicking and moving. And Moonjos is just, bobbing towards you and just throwing traditional type shit.
Bobbing his head too.
Like if you looked at like energy output, like how much more energy you must have put out in that fight than he did. Just in terms of the amount of kicks you throw and the amount of jumping back and forth and leaping in and leaping out. Like this, that's all like plyometrics.
It's a ton. And the good thing is credit to like the training that we do. I get the right work. I got that guy Marab Devashili, who's a freaking psycho. That guy does not get tired. We call him the machine for a reason. The guy, he would finish sparring with me, and I'm like, I did my rounds, championship work. I'm done. I'm just gonna get on the bike or hit the pads, whatever it is, or band work, just to get a little extra cardio push. And he'll be in there and grab 2, 3, sometimes 4 more bodies to spar with. And I'm like, this guy just doesn't fucking stop. He's out of his fucking bird. And this is no exaggeration. This guy is out of his fucking bird, but it's the reason why my cardio, I'm like, you want to get your cardio top notch, get yourself a fucking Marab. Get yourself one of those guys. He's a man. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Sometimes too much of a good dude. I'm like, Marab, I can carry my own wallet. It's like, it gets to the point like that. I'm like, dude, thank you, but I appreciate it. But, yeah, it's a very tiring style, but we do a lot of work, and I do my own strength and conditioning just from having a background in physical education in SUNY Cortland. So
you do your own?
Yeah, so I've been doing it since I was an amateur, like writing my own thing, my own program, because they taught us how to like work on like isometric squeezes and different type of like explosive muscle endurance workouts and stuff like static holds, like holding on a pull-up bar and going out to punches. So I put together a pretty decent program. It's been working. I can't complain.
So when you do it, how do you design it? Do you design it for the entire camp? Like, do you set it out every day, like where you want to be, and do you adjust it depending on how you feel and injuries? Like, how do you schedule all that?
Exactly like that. So when I'm further out from the camp or not in camp at all, I'll do more lifting, and I'll lift heavy. And I don't really do like benching no more. I think that shit's like stupid for fighters. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm not gonna bench press somebody off my back. I don't know, whatever. But I'll do that, and I'll adjust the training camp and adjust the programs when I get closer to the fight. And I don't mind to like sharing this because I think guys, they make it more complicated than what it should be. Like sometimes I see all this crazy shit. I'm like, I just don't understand the whole necessity behind needing that. But I'm no physical strength and conditioning doctorate or anything like that. But from what I've seen that works for me, I just try to mimic everything that I feel in the fight and implement it into a workout. And I figure out which ways I could do that, whether it's bands, push-ups, box jumps, wall sits. I do wall sits get-ups with 2 plates. So I'm sitting down on my butt, and I'll do like a technical stand-up. And I use the wall and I push up. So it's a lot of leg works, a lot of core work.
With 2 plates.
With 2 plates. It's fucked up. Sometimes I come there and I do it by myself in the morning. I go to Low MMA by myself, 9 a.m. and I'm like, why am I putting myself through this? Like, it could be so much easier and more simple, like just to do the other stuff, like the plyometric stuff, and which is a little not as much impact on the body. But this is what I enjoy. I think this was what translates to the fight because this is what I feel. And I feel when I do this, I notice a drastic difference from one sparring session to the next. But to answer your question, like, I adjust it. I'll do, if my legs are on fire and I feel like they're really beat up from sparring, I'll do more upper body. And then if I feel my upper body is more beat up, I'll switch it off to the lower body. And if I feel like I'm fresh, like I had a good week, maybe I didn't spar on a Saturday and I'm coming in fresh on a Monday, I'll hit it hard and do full body, everything, and I'll give myself 5 rounds of pushing it. But I'll separate it into rounds, simulate the fight with rounds. So I do every single minute, but I'll do about 40, depending on how far I am from the fight. If I'm like just starting a training camp, I don't want to kill myself. I want to ease my way into it. So I'll start like anywhere from like 30, 35 seconds to like 50 seconds. And that 10-second window or that other 30-second window is my time to recover and get to the next station. And I'll just rep whatever I'm doing, burn it out. I'll do the med ball between my legs. I'll do the foam roller in my arms and I'll squeeze it and I'll simulate the rear naked choke and I do it for 2-minute intervals and I'm just squeezing the piss out of it. And obviously you can't do it, but you do it to failure and your arms get tired, you switch and go to the other side and you switch your legs, you figure forward, you scissor the legs. So you give yourself different type of stimulation to your body to kind of account for everything that you may possibly be in for the fight. And you never know. Like this fight, I did a lot of grappling, but I also did a lot of punching because I thought to myself, there might be a chance, it might be a possibility that I do not get Pedro to the ground. And I was happy I didn't force the takedowns because that would have fatigued me even more. I was like, if it comes, it comes. But I did a lot of output, just burning out the arms, getting that muscle endurance, kind of using that Floyd Mayweather structure of a workout, just getting the heavy back count, like high punch count in a 5-minute round. And I'll do that for a couple of rounds. And we do that a couple times a week. And I think you implement that with the lateral footwork that we do in the cage and just staying on your bike and having people like stalk you and like just not going crazy, but it's control. Like they're throwing punches like hooks or they're throwing a 1-2 and you got to like bounce side to side and get out the way. So it's a lot of like, at least I think it's practical for what you're going to actually see when you get in the fight. And I think sure enough, a lot of the things we did pretty much happened in the fight. Just on your toes.
Long squeezes is a great idea.
Oh, it's insane.
Because that's something that comes up often in a fight where you maybe got a guy in an arm triangle or something like that and it's that close to whether you get it or he escapes. It's like how much squeeze, how long can you keep it down? You know when you're caught in something and it's like you're almost kind of tapping, the guy lets go. You're like, whoo!
If you just held it a little bit longer.
Yeah, long squeezes. Like my friend Scott Einstein, he teaches at 10th Planet, West LA. He's always been a big fan of slow workouts. Like he'll do chin-ups like this, like super slow. I think that's what they call it, super slow. And he'll do chin-ups like he's doing a chin-up. It might take him 2 minutes to do a fucking chin-up. Yeah. For the entire time. So like when you're grappling with someone, it's like you're trying to squeeze it to pull them in. You got that long-term squeeze endurance.
It's like quicksand.
Yeah, it makes sense because if everything is fast and exploding, but then you get a rear naked and you have to like continue to compress or a guillotine where you continue to squeeze.
It's different. It's such a different feel. It's reminds me. It is exactly like my Brian Caraway fight. Although I did do 3 workouts on the day of that fight before the fight. Even Matt told me in the back room, he's like, Aljo, save some for the fight. I was like, no, man, I'm good. And I was just going crazy. I was like, in my head, I'm like, I did all the work, but I just wanted to be so prepared because I knew it was the biggest fight of my life. I knew if I beat him and finished him, I was probably going to get a title shot. I was 4-0, undefeated, coming off 3 finishes. And I knew if I finished him, I'm more likely going to get... And they lined me up, too. Because the next week, I went to Fox, and I was supposed to talk about the Dominic Cruz fight versus Uriah Faber fight, which I went, but the fight didn't go my way. So it kind of had like a bittersweet taste to it. So,
do you think it had anything to do with the extra rounds you put in or the extra work? Did it tire you out?
100%. Yeah. I think if I had just done my one morning shakeout, 15, 20 minutes, it was what I do now. Just get the food moving through my system so that my body can get like just feel like it's more alive again, like it does during training camp. I think that fight easily done in first round or even the second because he survived the first. But I think the second round, I think I get him out of there. But it's just experience, learning and becoming more mature about the game and trusting your training.
Do you think that has anything to do with you training yourself? Do you think that if you had a legit strength and conditioning coach who's monitoring your heart rate, are you monitoring your heart rate and all that stuff?
No. I just started doing stuff with the PI Center, and I try to, because I saw that guy Brendan Davis. He's for 45 foot to beat. And he's a big fucking dude.
He's 135 now,
which is insane to me.
I don't know how he makes it.
That's what I said. So I'm like, dude, if I'm gonna have to be fighting these giant guys, I need to figure something out. And like they explain how he was able to cut the weight, like he was running like 10 miles or something a day, which was insane to me. I know he was saying like some of it was like walking, but it's all about your heart rate, your resting heart rate, where you burn the most fat and calories or whatever you want to call it.
He's so big. When I was standing next to him, I couldn't believe he makes 135.
It's insane. I was actually pretty upset. I was like, fuck this guy, go back up to your weight class.
There he is right there. And didn't he say that he weighed, I think I asked him what he weighed in the cage. I think he said somewhere around 160.
Yeah, I don't get that big.
What does he say?
I'll look. I'll check.
It's bananas, man. He's so gigantic. And he's like 6'1" or something like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy for that weight class.
Yeah, I don't want to fight a guy that's 6'1". I got the unfair advantage right now. You take your ass back out to 45.
Dude.